Hello and welcome to the vlog. This week it's about apple tree pruning, or should I say winter apple tree pruning. Originally, as in the last video, I was going to show you how to prune out this tree and I started and I forgot to press record. So that's what it looked like before. This is what it looks like afterwards, so I'm really sorry for that mistake. Unfortunately I can't just stick it back on and go for it again. So what I propose to do is to go through it on the tree next door. Obviously you can't see me rectifying that ripped limb, but there we go. So this branch that I've got hold of here is touching the ground when it's full of fruit, so it's of no use. The last thing you want is your fruit on the ground, open yourself to all sorts of problems. So what I'm doing here is I'm raising the canopy quite a bit so that it's easier to work under, so the tree doesn't have its fruit dragging on the ground, and it'll cure multiple problems. I'm sawing nice and close to the trunk so that you won't get any dieback. You know, little bit of a protrusion, but basically fairly flush. The saw I'm using is a silky, it's a apple pruning saw, so it's a specialist tool, very sharp. Obviously you won't have this, so try and get the best, sharpest saw you possibly can. It is, if you've got apple trees, well worth the investment, but they're not cheap. Right now, what I'm looking at now is a change of tools, so secateurs are needed because I want to. This limb that I'm looking at here is perfectly good. It balances out the tree nicely, but it's worth taking off any small growth that you see. That's particularly the stuff that's going back in. But the spindly growth is not needed. Anything that's facing downwards, get rid of it. Again, the same reasons we don't want the fruit on the ground. This is a touching pair of branches, so don't just take them off where they touch. Take it right back to the good wood and remove the problem of possible canker growth later on. Well, I'll fast forward this section just so you don't have to watch the entire length of the actual prune of the tree. I've changed tools, not just because I've got to reach up, but because I've got a disability which tendonitis of the hand. It's an industrial injury from long ago, but basically I can't use small tools for very long periods, so the loppers, I can use both hands, get a bit of power into it. It's not a recommended tool for normal people. If you've got good full use of your hand, use secateurs. They're far more accurate to be used, but there we are, that's good. Now then, there's something else I've got to say as well. This pruning really should have been done in January time, or even December if you wanted to. I am taking a chance, but life's been extremely complicated in the last couple of months. It doesn't really stop it anytime soon, but that's why I'm doing it now. Total distraction, probably more important things going on than gardening, but that's the same for everybody. Anyway, so you'll get an idea of what I'm doing. I'm drastically reducing the size of the tree because I want to promote stubbier growth, stronger growth, and reduce the height of the tree in line with allotment rules and regulations. They're only supposed to be a maximum of 9 foot tall, and these have been let go something rotten. So this is trying to reclaim the trees so that we can provide a better shape for them in the future, more fruit in the future, and less prone to those branches breaking under the weight. Something that is important is the lead, the tallest branch with a nice strong shoot will become the shoot that dictates the future height of the tree. That's called apial domination. Now this is just a view of the trees when they're finished or almost finished. I can see a couple little bits I'm going to go back and just correct later on, but that's lifted the whole of the base of those trees, getting more air around, and yes, they look a lot better. This one, however, is a pear. It's up in the sky and action's got to be done with this. This tree is on my plot. It's a cider tree, so it's cider apples. It's in perfect shape for an allotment. It's pyramid trained, and it's been done mostly in the summer. So summer pruning will promote fruit growth rather than growth of the tree. So summer pruning is my preferred time to prune, and what I'm going to do with this tree is just correct some of the bits I've missed. As I'm trying to show you here, you can see all the stubby growth that it's made, and it's nice and strong. There's going to be no fruit dragging on the ground of this one. So all I've got to do now is just go through and correct the bits that I missed, because obviously when it's in full leaf it's much harder to see. It's hard to see a branch that you've missed. Now it's bare, it's dead easy to see and run through. When you prune at this time of year, it's encouraging future growth. This sort of level of pruning is really not a problem. The pruning on the previous tree that I've just shown you, it will produce water shoots. So water shoots followed up in the summer and summer pruned will be fine, but you've got to combine the two. And so back on the fast speed so we don't take too long. One of the things that I wanted to show you was pruning the inside of the tree, because you want it as hollow as possible, and I'm trying to take out any growth that's crossing, any weak growth, any growth at all in the interior tree. Unfortunately the clip I actually chose to show that really didn't come out very well, and I've only kept this very small portion of it, and I'm not sure if you can see what I'm talking about there, because I had the bright idea of just stepping in front of the camera and it just doesn't show anything of worth. There's bits like this, what I'm just about to point to now, that's canker, so you want to get rid of that for definite. Unfortunately, as I said, I did stand in front of the camera. Brilliant, Mike. Right, this is just a quick tour of my summer pruned cider trees in superb condition. This particular one's been very hard pruned last year, you know, right back to the bare bones. You can see the large branches that were taken off, and the new growth, the new water shoots that have come straight after. Yeah, there's a job for another day. This one has already been done, summer pruned, looking great. Hardly anything needs to be done but that one. Yes, the trees are too close together. I'm just pointing to the summer pruning that had taken place. Lovely strong growth, lovely tasting cider from that tree. And this one has been let go. I let it go because it can be a tip bearing apple, and I wanted the actual harvest from it, so I didn't summer prune it. You can see the difference in the sizes between the two. So this one now has to have drastic action. So on with the fast forward, because again it's probably more used to you just to see a quick snapshot of what I'm up to. It feels like I'm actually butchering this tree because I've let it go so badly. I've never let it go so high, but it's on the north side of my plot. It's directly shading the plot holder next to me, so I have to take it down height. It's not good, you know. In an orchard setting, there's no way this sort of pruning would be done. It's too harsh, far too harsh. But within the rules of the Allotment Society, I have to do it. So I just gotta suck it up. Anyway, so I'll actually go in silence, just watching this pruning happen. By the way, the blue long pole pruner that I was using just a short while ago is a device that you use to get up high. It's very cumbersome to use, quite fiddly, so I'm out with the loppers wherever I can. But yeah, it's excellent for getting above your head. Awkward to reach in places where you've got to go up and into the tree. But the ropes get tangled up, and it can be it's a patience tester. But it's a very vital patience tester, and it's really quick work as well. You can see how much quicker it is with a lopper. It's like about 10. Now that we're inside the centre of that tree, it's really not very good camera work on this, but hopefully it'll be good of value. Now you see where some pruning has been done in the past, and the water shoots have come out from the actual pruning themselves, and through the rest of the tree as well. It's always worth chopping these back, whichever time of the year it's at. The growth is very spindly, it's of zero value. All it's going to do is prevent airflow. It's really not good for the health of the tree, so do get all these out. My hand's starting to get tired, so I've got to finish this off. It's only so long I can last with this. Yeah, so get as many of these out as possible, and then after you've finished all the thin branches, it's then a bit more thinning out to be done, and it's out with the loppers then, because the thicker branches need that little bit more power. For instance, these branches here, they've got to be taken out. They've no value whatsoever, just clogging up the tree, and loppers will be done that. And this one, that can be taken out as well with loppers. And there's lots of little branches you've seen in front of your eyes here, all are going to be taken out. Anything in the centre of that tree, thinned out as much as you possibly can. Keep it clear, keep the air moving. There we are, everybody else has gone home. Leaves me, I can actually talk now. Just me and the seagulls. Signing off today. Thank you very much for joining me. Hope it's been useful for a good lesson on how to butcher an apple tree. Till the next one, see you later guys.